Well, thanks for joining us. New tonight, Colorado police are investigating Ja Morant's actions during an Instagram live stream where he appeared to flash a gun. Police say he flashed the gun while at a nightclub in Glendale, which is near Denver. The Memphis Grizzlies told us Morant will be away from the team for at least 2 games. We asked a criminal defense attorney in Denver who told us Morant is likely being investigated for carrying a weapon in a public place, a Class 1 misdemeanor, punishable up to a year in jail and a fine of $1,000.
Up to the DA whether they want to pursue this or not. There wasn't much of a view of what might have been a weapon, and that makes it a little harder case to prove. And because nothing else happened, there may not be any criminal consequences. But it's really not a good idea if you're an NBA player to be having a handgun anywhere when you're in a state other than your own.
That attorney says Colorado doesn't usually extradite anyone for a misdemeanor, but because the case is so highly publicized, the DA may decide to pursue this case. While Ja is out, Grizzlies coach Taylor Jenkins also weighing in on this latest news involving his star player. He says the team would support number 12, but they also plan to hold him accountable.
He understands, he's made some difficult decisions and poor choices in the past that he's got to account for. And that's why, you see in his statement, it speaks for itself that he understands he's got to get help to get into a better place, not just for himself, but also for his team.
So here's the timeline of incidents involving Ja Morant starting about 8 months ago. In July of last year, Morant and a group of friends are accused of threatening security at Wolf Chase Galleria after his mom tried to buy some shoes there. 4 days later, he's accused of throwing punches at a teenager and flashing a gun after a pickup game at his home in Eads in East Shelby County. In January of this year, there was a confrontation between Morant, his friends, and some members of the Indiana Pacers after a game in Memphis right near the loading dock at FedEx Forum. And now the most recent incident, this month, when Morant allegedly flashed what appears to be a gun live on his Instagram account at a club in Denver after 4 a.m. Clayton Collier is in here now to join us and give us his perspective. So Ja has apologized, as we know. He says he's taken full responsibility and working on dealing with his stress. But you have this investigation going on in Colorado. Authorities there, we have the inquiry by the NBA. And how long do you think before we see him on the court again? Is 2 days realistic?
Officially, the Grizzlies say he is away from the team for at least 2 games. And that was this past Sunday against the Clippers and then this upcoming game tomorrow against the Lakers. But the more that we're starting to see from this, all the signs are starting to indicate this could take a little bit longer than that. Overall, as you mentioned, investigations now from local police and from the NBA. So he still could very well face a suspension as a result of this on top of, what they're seeing from the Grizzlies as well. Taylor Jenkins just said last night that there is no timetable for his return and that this is not a timetable situation. He talked about a healing process with the team, Ja getting right. It's hard to imagine realistically that all is resolved and all is well by Thursday for their home game against the Warriors, Richard.
I'm with you on that. So I got to ask you about the national media. They absolutely love this story. Columnists and commentators who know very little, if anything, about Ja, about Memphis or the Grizzlies have this virtual, I call it a feeding frenzy about what's going on with him. I want to ask you what you make of all that attention that he's getting nationally for this.
Richard, I'll say this. Here's what we know about what's going on with Ja Morant. That's it.
Right.
I mean, we know about the incidents, and over the last 48 hours, I've seen some frankly irresponsible things said from, on the national scale about Ja Morant, pretending or, inferring that they may know about what X, Y, or Z is happening outside of these incidents. Because really the only people that know are the ones in Ja's circle and probably the Grizzlies, and that's about it. And beyond that, I mean, these incidents are sensational enough. We don't need to sensationalize beyond that. So, I mean, keep it in the context of what's going on. And then the hope is that this guy learns from this situation, learns from these mistakes, and is able to turn around and make it back.
I think we're all hoping for that. All right. Thank you very much, Clayton.